Okay, let's ignore the fact that my hair looks like this today. Hold on. Okay, maybe that's better. Okay, so in this video, I want to make it a wee bit less trans related. Like, I know this is what this channel is, and it's what people watch it for. So it's gonna have like a hint of trans stuff, but also just sort of a bit more of a background on me in a way. It's not really that interesting, but I wanted to upload a video and I didn't really know what to do, because the changes on T haven't really been that dramatic since the last video that I uploaded, talking about my changes. So I still wanted to upload, but I didn't want to be doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to be talking about my tattoos in this video, which I only have two, but I would get an awful lot of questions on them about like what they mean, what they represent, especially because they both have dates in them. I would get people asking me sort of like what the dates are and sort of the stuff around them. So the first one that I got done was on my wrist. I'll move these out of the way so you can kind of see that a bit. That's in the way. Hold on. I got that one done. I originally just got the date, so it's the 3rd of the 8th, 2015. So the 3rd of August. I originally just got the date across my wrist when I was 17 for my 17th birthday, which is borderline illegal. But I got a fella to do it for me because it was the date that I had come out. The 3rd of August 2015 is obviously like my second birthday, as I call it. It was like the biggest day of my life, really, so far. It was the day that I told my parents, mum and dad, that I'm trans and I wanted to come out publicly and stuff like that. So it's a really important date to me, and I wanted to sort of always be able to look down and remember that date. So I initially just got the date, which I loved to begin with. I'd always wanted tattoos, and so even though it was tiny, I really loved the fact that I had a tattoo. But then it was about a year later, I sort of thought, it doesn't really, not that it didn't mean anything, but it was really just like numbers on my wrist. They kind of looked a bit like I'd been in prison, and that just sort of like stopped me, and that was it, because it didn't have anything else around it. It was just a D. It kind of looked like I drew it on my pen most of the time. People sort of were like, "Did you draw that?" And I was like, "No, I actually did pay for it to get done, but whatever." So it was December last year that I had thought about what I wanted around it for a good load of months, and it was December last year that I went to another fella and got him to add in the koi fish. So there's one there, and then that's its tail, and then that's one there, and then its tail goes around there. So from here, you can't really see. You can kind of see the fin a wee bit there, but if I do that, you wouldn't really know, and then sort of just turn my wrist around, and that's it there. And it's not big at all. It's a decent size, like. But the symbolism of the koi fish really was because when I first came out again, I went to a place called Koi in Belfast, which is a gender clinic for children, probably from like toddlers, like kids to just before they turn 18. And they were called Koi, but they sort of had an abbreviation for it, so it was like knowing our identity, which like spells obviously Koi. And on their wee leaflets that they used to give out whenever you sort of first went or anything like that, like information, they had on the back, it was basically the story of the koi fish. So for anybody that doesn't know, it in like Japanese myths, the koi fish used to try and swim upstream against the current that was coming towards it. So they sort of took that as symbolism for like fighting against all of the hard things that's coming at you. Like, you don't just go with wherever the water was taking you. They sort of swam against it, because at the end of sort of the river, there was like this big waterfall that they tried to jump up to get to. And over like hundreds and hundreds of years, these koi fish tried to jump to get to the top of the waterfall. And eventually, one day, one of the koi fish managed to jump to the top. So that part of the story is, don't give up on your dream or your goal. You know, like the koi fish's dream was to get to the top of the waterfall, and even though it took hundreds of years, and it was a completely different koi fish, obviously from the first koi fish who decided they wanted to jump to the top of the waterfall, who made it to the top of the waterfall. The idea was don't give up on your dream or what you really want. And so once it got to the top of the waterfall, it turned into a dragon because it was rewarded by like the gods and stuff, for not giving up on the dream of getting to the top of the waterfall. So they kind of took that and twisted that into their own little way of, you know, obviously trans kids coming through the system and trans people in general sort of going against all the hard things that was coming at them, you know, maybe to be stereotypically, you know, a girl or a boy, whatever way, you know, you presented at birth. So for me, it would have been, for me in my life, I could easily have stereotypically just presented as a girl, but I didn't. I presented as a boy, and, you know, that's because I am a boy. And then eventually you get to the top of the waterfall. And that's sort of like once you've had hormones and once you have had surgery and stuff, you know, you completely transform into this different person. So that's sort of the symbolism of that, which I absolutely love. I love the detail on the fish and everything. I think I'm going to get it like sort of topped up a wee bit because it's a wee bit faded at the minute. It's almost just a year old, but it's a wee bit faded, so I might just get it topped up slightly. And then the other one is up here on my arm. I really should not have wore a hoodie for this video because this is hard. So it's like a feather that goes the whole way around my arm, and the date is in there. Let me see if I can. There, the date is in there, which is the 24th of the 5th, 24th of the 7th, 2005. Whoops, 24th of the 5th, 2005. 24th of the 7th, 2005. And it was the same guy that did both of them, but he kind of like put the numbers so that it kind of like blends in like with the feather and stuff, and then it goes the whole way around there, and it kind of sits like, he did it really well. It kind of sits like it's on my arm. So that one is for my granda, who passed away on the 24th of July 2005. And I was really close with him. He was like my best friend. From when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I used to go and stay in his house every day whilst mum and dad was at work. And so I always had a very special bond with him. And from I was no age, when I knew what tattoos and stuff were, I always said that I would get a tattoo for him. So I have a necklace as well that I wear around my neck, which has just got like a wee photo of me and him on it, which, you know, is really close to my heart. But I just always thought in case there was a time where, you know, I never had the necklace or something like that, he would always be with me in some shape or form. So that's what that is. So yeah, one of them is kind of trans related, one of them not so much. But I'm sort of working on trying to get a half sleeve at the minute on this side of my arm, to go to about my elbow there. And it's going to be a wee bit more like sort of mental health related. I won't give too much away because I'll probably do a video on that one once I get it done, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. But that one's a wee bit more mental health related. But yeah, that's my tattoos. Wasn't really anything interesting, but I wanted to put something up, a bit of content for the people. So yeah. I also pierced my lip. This has got nothing to do with this video at all. But I re-pierced my own lip, which it's healing really well. It actually is. It's healing really well, but I shouldn't be left alone. I have too much freedom. But yeah, and also I went to the barber the other day and to get a haircut, and he like shaped my, like, you can actually sort of see that I have a bit of a beard coming in. A wee bit both sides underneath there and stuff. But yeah, that was just a wee extra sneak peek of my beard for my 1 year on T is coming up really soon. My 1 year on T will be 20th of September, so I'll do a video on that. But yeah, if you're new, hit the subscribe button so I can see how many newbies we're bringing in. Also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate any comments or any support on all videos like this. And yeah, I'll see you soon.